So you've been to Douarnenez and seen it on fêtes, seen it with the boat festival, but it is an ordinary little fishing port. And it would be nice to just have a wander around now the festival has finished and see the little back streets of Douarnenez and what the character of this little town is like when you get away from the bars on the harbour front. The French really love urban life. In fact, I feel that the greatest contribution the French have made to civilization is actually to create a form of urban life. And France is at its best in a small town like this. It is the quintessence of French life. Strolling along a street like this, looking in the shops and stopping in little cafes, that's where France is at its best. Douarnenez is an old working town, but it is beginning to be discovered by artists, and this shop sells pop-up books. That's all it does. It is a shop where you can buy pop-ups. Douarnenez may have lost its big fishing fleet, though it still has a fishing fleet, but it's maintained its tradition of maintaining boats, and it's full of wooden boat builders. This Chantier Plein Mer is only one of many wooden boat builders that preserve the old traditions, but he's not the only yard that would approach boats that way. Douarnenez, that's very much the spirit here of doing things properly. This is called Les Plomards, and it's a traditional fishing hamlet. And fishermen were living here until after the Second World War, and it's been preserved by an accident of history, really. It's never been developed, and the commune has taken it over as simple accommodation for people walking round the coastal path of Brittany. So you can stay in some of the houses, and there's just very simple beds. This is called a lavoir, and when I first used to come to France with my parents when I was very young, these were still in use in Brittany in the 1960s. And my mother went and asked the women and said, well, why don't you use a washing machine like we do? And they said, well, we have washing machines in France, but we much prefer to wash our clothes with our friends. So we continue to use the lavoir. Nowadays, you don't see people washing their clothes in lavoir much, as it's probably a very ecological thing to do, which is perhaps sad. But there is a tradition that survives in Douarnenez, and that is the quouign amann. S'il vous plaît, madame, est-ce qu'on pouvait acheter un demi-quouign amann?
Oui, bien sûr.
Voilà. Ah, très bien. This is the classic Douarnenez, what you call it, pudding. It's made with butter and flour and butter and sugar and butter and salt and butter and eggs, I think, and extra butter just to be certain it's got enough butter in. It's cooked in an oven. It caramelizes, yeah, so you get this lovely taste of caramel from the butter. There we are. Mmm. Mmm.